Hey guys, this is my April wrap-up and May TBR, where I go through the books that I read in April really quickly and tell you what star rating I gave them on Goodreads, and then go through the books that I plan to read in May. I did better with reading this month than I expected to. I read 5 books. 2 of those were textbooks from the semester that we just happened to finish this month that I've been reading since January for the classes. That's still better than I expected to do, so I guess that's good. I'm still behind on my reading challenge, but I'm hoping that since I have finals next week, but then it's summer break, I'm hoping I'll get a lot more reading done, fingers crossed. So yeah, let's go through the 5 books that I managed to read in April. The first book I don't have with me because I left it at home when I went home for Easter break, and that is Catholicism Now I Get It. I do not remember the author's name. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think it's a good book if you're like Catholic and want to know a bit more about Catholicism and don't really. It's a good book for that. And it was it was written in a way that was interesting and like held your attention and wasn't boring. The next book I read was 101 Things to Do Before You Graduate by Patricia Hudak and Julian Gordon, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars as well. It has some good ideas. I think some of these things are like really great ideas, and I think if you're into this sort of thing, it's a good book. This book I read was Schism, the first book in the Illyrian series by Laura Massano. I hope I'm saying her last name right. I don't have anything to show you because it was on my Kindle, but I gave that 4 out of 5 stars as well. It's really interesting. It's like fantasy, but it kind of almost seems sci-fi-like to me, and just like the feel of it, and I really liked that combination and I thought that it worked really well. It's about, there's an alternate universe and it's like the 4th dimension and there are people who live there, and I think that's what made it seem almost sci-fi-like to me. Like they're kind of mythical species, I guess, although they have different like types within their like people, but it almost felt like alien-like to me, and so that kind of gave it a sci-fi kind of feel to me personally. I really liked it. I really want to read the other books. And the last 2 books are the textbooks. This first one is Key Works on Teacher Response edited by Richard Straub, which I used this for a class last semester and this semester. We read bits and pieces at a time. You can see I have a lot of stuff highlighted in here. And obviously it's different essays on responding to student writing and things like that as a teacher, and I think that this was a really good book. We discussed it a lot with both of my professors, and I learned a lot of really great things from this, so I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And then the next textbook is The History of English by Stephen Gramley, which was for my English language class where we talked about the history of English and also grammar, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars, and I think it's a really good book. I learned a lot. Sometimes I didn't understand things because there was like linguistic kind of language that just went completely over my head, but it was still really interesting, and I really want to learn more about this because it was really interesting to me. And now I'm going to go through the 5 books that I definitely plan to try to get to in May. I haven't been doing that well at this, but like I said, since it's going to be summer, I'm hoping I'm going to get more read. I'm currently reading 2 books, and one of them I can't show you because it is on my Kindle app on my phone, and my phone is charging at the moment, but it's Activate Your Brain by Scott Halford, I believe, which I've gotten for a review, and it's supposed to be for business people, which is obviously not me, but it's about like, kind of like, I don't know how best to describe it right now, but just stuff about like how to focus on things and how that helps your brain and things like that, and it's really interesting so far. I'm really interested in things like that, so I'm really liking that. And then I'm also reading Lit by Kersner and Mandel, and this as I mentioned in my TBR from last month, which this was in possibly the month before that, this is a textbook from my freshman year English class, and I'm going through and reading it. I'm not as far as I would like to be in it, and it's going to be really hard to find. Here we go, I'm right here in it. So this has taken me forever. I feel like I've been reading this definitely over a week, probably like 2 weeks, like half the month. But yeah, I'm rereading a lot of stuff that I really love, like A Rose for Emily, which is like one of my favorite short stories. I know another one of my favorite short stories, The Lottery, is in here, although I haven't gotten to it yet. And I just really like this book. And then to the books that I haven't started yet, but plan to this month, hopefully, is Without You, There Is No Us by Suki Kim. This is a memoir from someone who taught English in North Korea, apparently like right at the very end of Kim Jong-il's reign, and that is extremely interesting to me. I want to teach English abroad, possibly in South Korea, definitely not North Korea. I'm not brave enough for that, even if I could do that. But I'm really interested in this. I won it in a giveaway, and I actually have a lot of books on North Korea that I need to read now because I wrote a paper this semester on Korean music, and I needed books for it, and the library was slow on them, so I had to go to the bookstore, and like the only books on Korea in general in the bookstore were on North Korea, which I like understand but was frustrating at the same time. But I wound up buying 3 other books on North Korea, and I'm not going to try and read those this month. I should probably try to space them out instead of reading them all back to back. But this one I won like a long time ago, and those I need to read now too though, but I think they're all going to be interesting. But I'm going to try and read this one this month. I have The Twilight Saga, the official illustrated guide by Stephanie Meyer. I don't know why I had to just look at the author's name as if I didn't know, but I've had this for a while. I had been planning to buy it since it came out, and then I didn't get it until I found it in a like consignment shop when I was with my mom, and my mom ended up buying it, and I think it was like an Easter present or something like last year or something like that. But this is actually come in handy because I'm writing a Twilight fanfiction right now, which is, I've been thinking about this Twilight fanfiction since Breaking Dawn came out, and I'm just now writing it. I'm not like a huge Twilight fan. I used to be like more into it when it was like a huge thing, and now I'm kind of iffy on it, but like in some ways I feel loyal to it. I still want to read this and just see what's in it, so I'm going to try and do that this month. And then the last thing is another book from school, Seneca, The Tragedies, Volume 1, which I had, I think for my humanities class last year. We read, I think, just one of the plays in here, and I want to try and read all of the others. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to try and get to this month. We'll see if I manage it, but I will see you guys later. Bye.